Okay, so I kind of wanted to vent to the camera here. Just kind of explain a few things. Gosh. So what I really hope to make out of this video is to really explain um, what it's like dealing with OCD. Um, OCD isn't just this, trivial thing. It's not just something that you know, it can be. It could be some inconvenience that you have. That's a symptom for a lot of people, but it is this cyclical, perpetual cycle. This really just this monster, this relentless demon inside your own head. That is a perpetual cycle of obsessions and intrusive thoughts and then distressing thoughts that produce anxiety, and this anxiety can only be relieved, not only, but can be temporarily relieved by filling out a compulsion. And but it's, yeah, again, like I said, it's temporary. And sometimes, and especially when you go to new environments, your OCD symptoms tend to flare up. So yeah, I mean, it's really, really debilitating, and you get really scared, not only when you have an intrusive thought, you get anxiety, obviously, but just the fact that you might fall apart, moving forward. Anticipation, that's called anticipatory anxiety of, you know anxiety, or obsessions or intrusive thoughts that may pop up in the future. And OCD doesn't really make sense. It's really bizarre in the way that it works, in the way that certain circumstances can be a trigger for you, but other circumstances that may be similar are not triggers. But yeah, it really is just a demon inside of you, this voice that kind of takes away the joy from life. It really does. You no longer um, get to just be in the moment, just be in the present moment. It's just this overriding narrative that comes up and steals any source of joy or any source of happiness that you had at that moment. It takes it away from you, and it says, "Oh, well, what if you contaminated this, and what if you contaminated that, or whatever the case may be, whatever symptom that you have." And for me personally, I know that I can deal with the anxiety. I can deal with the depression, which is comorbid with OCD. But I really cannot deal with the insomnia, and that is something that really tends to come up for me. Um, you're always like, this little voice just comes up and says, "You know what? You can't sleep tonight because you didn't fulfill the compulsion that you needed to fulfill." And it's irrational. It's not logical. Um, but it's just so compelling, those thoughts. And certain, like, cognitive techniques that you were taught, whatever, in CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, or therapy, if you had done therapy, is to just welcome those thoughts in, and welcome that uncertainty, whatever it may be. But for me personally, a lot of my intrusive thoughts, a lot of my obsessions are around morality, or around just these deep philosophical questions that really there are no answers to. And it's just a rabbit hole of looking for something, looking to validate my notions about life. But OCD does not respond to reason. You know, you can get into this argument with in your head. You can get into this argument with your OCD, trying to explain why, why, whatever the case for me personally, why God doesn't exist, or why, just these deep philosophical questions that, again, like, have no end. Not no one really knows the answer to. We have these ideas about what it could be, but yeah, nobody really knows the. There's no definitive answer, is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, so that's been a huge struggle with me. Also, and another huge struggle with me is dealing with the depression side of it. Just feeling utter worthlessness, utter hopelessness. Partly because, like, my OCD's kind of taken my will and turned it against me. Personally, like, I know that I'm a very hardworking, kind of industrious individual, and I've kind of built this association with reading or doing things that I need to concentrate on. I've associated that with intrusive thoughts and anxiety, and my will has kind of backfired on me because it's kind of just reinforced that association. So yeah, I don't think you can beat this by yourself, the OCD. And to get back to the depression side of it, God, that could be really compelling. And thoughts of suicide are definitely reoccurring. And for some people that could be their baseline. I know for me it is. It's kind of like an off and on thing. But recently it's been more of I would say more of a fantasy, like this. It's like sadistic in that it's like you like look forward to it. It's amusing to you. It's like in a sick way. It's a pleasure to constantly be thinking about it, and it's just almost like this force that's like pushing you to go about doing that. But I know that I'm like safe. I've kind of dealt with this before. But man, gosh, I think thinking is really the true enemy here. It kind of robs you of just happiness in general, just to be constantly thinking about the future, about the past, or whatnot. I think just being in the present moment is really what you need to really enjoy life. So yeah, that's really all I have. I just kind of want to reinforce the notion that OCD really should not be taken lightly, and it definitely should not be said as as an adjective, as a descriptor, like I'm a little OCD. Personally that doesn't offend me, but maybe it can offend other people. I'm not sure, but yeah, it is definitely a serious thing. And you're going against your biology is essentially what you're doing. That's the underlying problem, the underlying issue here. And just knowing that can help you really kind of distance yourself from it, and just to conceptualize it, to know that it's not your fault. And yeah. stay strong. You know, whatever you need to do to get better. I think just know that, you know, there may not be a silver bullet to this. It could be something that you're just gonna have to deal with. Um, so it is almost a part of you, really. Um, it's almost like this prop that you use in the world. You're almost proud to have it, just because you can let other people know that you have this thing. And that's not to say, you know, I would much rather not have this particular issue. You know, I think life would be a lot more easier. It would be easier, definitely, to not have, I guess, this hurdle in the way that tends to show up in a lot of facets of my life. But, you know, it's definitely taught me to be more patient. It's taught me to be more empathetic in general. I think it's made me a better human being. I guess more mature. And when you kind of go through all of this, I guess OCD in a weird way makes you a better human being, because you stop to realize, like, you know, you start to appreciate the things in life that really do matter, you know. Being with loved ones, trying to make a difference in the world, trying to better yourself, and yeah, you know, not everyone is handed the best cards in life. It is what it is, and I think you just got to make do with what you have, and really that's all you can do, and just know that it's going to take us step by step. And you know, and it's definitely not it's definitely not something that it's definitely not something that is like a linear path. You know, you're not just gonna get better like in a straight line. Like you're gonna waver a bit. It's gonna be a little bit of a roller coaster. You're gonna have moments of frustration, moments of hopelessness, moments of anger, moments of questioning why you're even doing this, moments of man, am I ever gonna get better and whatnot. But you just gotta push through and know that, you know, there's always a way. There really is. And you know, that might be cliche to say, but if you want something bad enough, and maybe not everybody has that initiative, maybe not everybody has that will or that drive to get better or to want something that bad. Me personally, like, I know that I can't quit, for a lot of reasons, a whole host of reasons that I don't really want to get into. I don't want to get sidetracked. But yeah, that's really it. I forgot what I was going there, but yeah, that's all I really had to say. I just kind of wanted to vent, kind of touched on a lot of points here, kind of spoke crazy, jumped around a lot, but yeah, that's all I have. For those of you who may be struggling with, you know, not just OCD, but life in general, because we all struggle, we all suffer, stay strong, find a way. If there's a will, there's a way, right? See ya.